the major thing is we evolve of technology in genomics and drug discovery. Initially, we were with the conventional servers and laptops, which took a lot of time. Then we were transitioned to GPU, and then we started with AI ML model, and then we developed kits, and now there's a lot of problems which remain unsolved in the area of drug discovery or in genomics, which we are now taking up into quantum to solve it. So quantum computing is definitely expensive, and efforts are ongoing to find it cheaper and optimize solutions. So but we are looking out the solution initially by we have NVIDIA simulators, we do it there, and then we convert that into quantum. So major challenges in life sciences in computational genomics, I can put that as biological networks and systems, genome assembly and sequencing, metagenomics and data integration, protein folding, molecular docking, drug design and discovery. So what is the problem that we have in network and system is maximum click problem, which helps identify highly connected clusters. Genome assembly and sequencing and de novo genome assembly is closely related to NP hard graph problems like Hamiltonian path problem. And then if you consider metagenomics and data integrations of QUBO, quantum approximate optimization algorithm or variational quantum algorithm provide new methods for solving these optimization problems more efficiently than classical approaches. And then protein folding is like classical approaches are computationally very expensive for larger proteins because you need more qubits there. And molecular docking, especially in idea regions, is major problem always that is happening. And drug design and discovery, faster identification of potential drug candidates more efficiently than the method. So these are some of the things which classical mechanics we are doing it, and we are finding it out. So now I want to say that we are pioneer also. If you see in India, if you put in PubMed about these quantum computing and VQU papers, I think my paper will pop up in PubMed. So we are pioneer in starting this in India. How we have, and we have much publications, and let me thank my PhD students Akshay Uttarkar, who is with me in right from classical mechanics approach on solving this drug discovery, and now we have moved towards quantum, and his PhD work is also in that. And so all the work that has been done is basically maybe a little bit of mentoring from me, but I have to thank Akshay to made this possible, and also our collaborators and interns who were part of it. As you know that you need lot of manpower to work on these problems, and these are the people who have helped to get into this. So need to solve the problem of idea region in drug discovery is if you see that it's a very important that disordered regions, intrinsic disordered regions is a major challenge for protein folding, and current methods are not always accurate when they are ignored. So quantum computing could be the model, because you know that every problem in the world will have a solution. Maybe our approach is wrong, and since I am a part of a biophysics student, I know that when there is a problem that has been failed using classical, the quantum can help, because we have seen many of the physics problem has been solved. So now we are moving towards that to check whether this can be done, and this could lead to more accurate predictions of protein folding even for proteins with IDR. VQU and quantum annealing are the two techniques that can be used to stimulate protein folding on a quantum computing. So quantum, we are very classical in the way, since we are looking out for the optimization method, we never go with classical or quantum approach. We also always go with quantum classical hybrid algorithms to solve the protein folding problem. And since it is in very early stage and huge fundings has been given by the government, and also I'm happy to say I'm part of NQM also, to be a part of this type of problems to be solved using quantum computing. So when we go into this benchmarking of VQ for peptide folding against popular classic techniques, we found out only few papers which has that particular problem on annealing, where we had very little way of literatures to work better. But we started doing it by configuring the qubits in protein folding. So we had around 8 directions. Like we found out that when all the tetrahedral 2 points defining a position of an amino acid in a tetrahedral plane, and we also denoted as a B, where if it is in the other opposite plane it is minus axis. So now we have, this is the sort of 8 qubits which we have initiated to make this happen. And if you see, this is how a protein of n amino acid, n is equal to 10, can make n minus 1 turns, that you know that, and that is 18 qubits are required and one addition for interaction. So this is what we initially initiated for this. And then folding algorithm and optimization. So we started with Hamiltonian equations, and we so for that we need to get some biological input and data from that. So what we did is we took 20,426 human protein sequences, and protein disorderedness was calculated to develop a consensus of most important amino acids which are part of disordered regions. So W, F, Y, I, M, L, B, and CTA. So these are some of the increasing order of data. So we found out 50 out of 540 combinations present in any of these 426 proteins. So these are all the exercise to find out the uh, signature of any of this particular IDR proteins. And I this is very noisy. So initially this VQ is supposed to be a very noisy. So we worked on conditional value at rest, that is CVAR, which is because we do a tail optimization in this technique, and that's how we put that VQ into the folding algorithm. So when we compare the existing folding tools with quantum algorithm, you see that, so in the case of classical mechanics, if you see in the time in nanoseconds, in 15 nanoseconds, we always feel that having more amount of time is always preferable to understand the ground state or the minimum, the stable state of any of the molecule or a complex or something. The first thing we got from quantum algorithm is not necessary the longer the simulation, because we found, when we found using quantum theory, we found out that many of the molecules and out of the peptides has reached the ground state even at the 50 nanoseconds. So these are some of the things which is very very important for us to understand that there's some differences in classical and quantum which can be identified. So when an example of tedious protein folding analysis using Monte Carlo simulations we do, we see that the same the DSP KHQE is one of a very important peptide which we found out. And when we see that there is a lot of orientation that it takes place at 50 nanoseconds, which we feel that after 50 nanoseconds, if you do, it's computationally very intensive and it is not accurate method to solve the stability of these ITR regions. And when we go for stochastic model also, we found out that though even in the stochastic model it is not much accurate because there is a lot of changes, though it is much better than Monte Carlo simulation. But when we started with VQ based simulations, we found out a better folding. We understood that at a given point of time, so it is not that the probability that this particular structure is stable can be done as a time, as a we cannot do with respect to the time. It is about the probability of different structures at different time, and the highly probable has to be taken. So new hypothesis we have got for these idea regions, which was initially using classical mechanics, was a function of time. So the more the time we feel the simulations, we find it is better. But now we are finding that it is not about the probability of a different structural changes at different time, and the maximum time the particular structure is there can be taken further for. So this is one of the very good take home message for doing docking studies in ITR regions. So, and then initially we found out that using this Clifford gates, there are a lot of noise actually. You must be knowing that in quantum computing, the logical gates are all represented by different gates like Clifford gates, which is slightly different, because when you say the logical gates that is available using electronic circuits are just 0 and 1, but here we need to take up all the possible combinations between 0 and 1. That is what is the specialization of the quantum computing. And we found out that Clifford gates that has been used just got some noise because it has to maintain different positions at different instant of times, unlike 0 and 1. So one of our collaborator with triple id Dharwad, one of the intern who came here, Ritvik, he took this problem and found out to reduce the gates, Clifford gates, by using T gates, and he did an hybrid gate of Clifford and T gates to make his very minimal noise. And this is also we have IEEE we have published. It's accepted, and we are going to publish soon, where we found out that error rates have significantly reduced from 87% to 12%. So this is one of a very important milestone we had, because the noise being a major impact on the quantum computing, which was also reduced based on that. And we also use the same thing for ubiquitin C, and this is also one of the paper using tensor network simulators that is given by aria one, that is nvidia. So we found out what is the difference between when we do directly in a TN simulators that is provided, and what is the difference between the QPU or that is being given by aria. So this is actually done with one of the MIT project, because you all know quantum computing is very expensive. So we found out a benchmark between how different it is there between these two. So employing VQ for efficient prediction of, so we try to find out, extend this for density functional theory profiles. So we wanted to have a stacked approach for small molecules. So ground state energy for molecules with higher bond orders and with aromatic rings, and difference in energy for various isomeric states, bond energy difference in various isomeric states leading to initially occupied molecular orbit, that is HOMO, and the least unoccupied molecular orbit LUMO. You know that this is a very important, especially if when we want to identify a lot of energy states of the molecules. This is going to be a huge potential, and so we started working on this. And we used a lot of tools. These are the tools that we have used: Python, CUDA, PennyLane, OpenFermion, Python, SEF, PubChem, PY. So all these were taken to understand about this. And this is something, especially in the organic chemistry, it is very difficult to identify the states of energy states. Actually, it's. I want to share the very important things why we started with this, because one of the customers, when we started looking out the toxicology studies for different isomers, initially classical mechanics told that it is going to be same for all the isomers, but the quantum study clearly told that there is a difference in the toxicology study when there is a change in the structure, which eventually due to the lot of uh, energy density. So the density concentration of electrons were shifted, and that is going to have a huge impact on the toxicology study also. So that is the reason we started this and found out that what could be the density functions for these when you know that when it is a single bond it is easy, when it is a double bond it's still okay, when it is a triple bond it is very difficult, and you need lot of qubits to understand the energy density functions of these molecules, which eventually going to play a major role in the toxicology study. And so these is some of the things which we have worked on H2, and this is also have been not done till now, so now we are progressing towards this also. So the conclusion is Hamiltonian time increased rapidly with the increase of bond orders. So, but the increase of bond orders is going to give a huge change in the toxicology studies, which is still now is unexplored, and we are going to work on it. So, implementation of Elsing models to calculate Hamiltonian is also something. So, Elsing models can address the drawback in solving many body dispersion problem arising in aromatic drinks. So we are also looking out for prediction of druggable properties and quantum AI to protein ligand interaction. These are all going on, and quantum generative AI for molecules of desired properties. We have already worked complete on this classical mechanics, and we are yet to explore into the quantum. And thank you